What's going on, everybody? We're here, back with a brand new episode of Umineko When They Cry. Rasabaran! We reached the end of episode 3 by watching both the Tea Party and the Witch's Tea Party, and in which we learned quite a bit. We learned that Beatrice's, quote-unquote, witch powers actually come from Lambda Delta, in a sort of, bid in order for Lambda Delta to trap Burn Castle within this game board of Wokenjima by giving Beatrice, witch powers, by creating this never-ending game of back and forth between Battler and Beatrice, which was it's a very interesting, a very important detail, I feel like, for Beatrice's, how she got her witch powers was from Lambda Delta in order just to trap Burn Castle. And it's also a fantastic continuation of Higurashi. It continues on from that point as well. Then we flash forward to 1998, about 12 years after Wokenjima, in which we see Ava, a dying woman who's completely paranoid of every single person she sees around. The public hates her guts, and they also hate Angie as well, since they view Angie as a mere son or a daughter of the, witch of Wokenjima, of Ava. As Ava's this horrible person who has lost her family, everything, and all she has is her fortune. And she's passing down this fortune's curse to Angie in the last sort of screw you, pretty much. It truly shows that the fortune of the Ushiro Miras is a kind of curse, since there is nobody else except for Angie, since Ava's going to die real soon. So it's a very interesting point of perspective, and as Angie's looking over the cityscape on top of a skyscraper, she is introduced to Burn Castle, as Burn Castle gives her a chance to go back in time, kind of like Akasaka and Higurashi, to go and try to fix things, or to try to find out the truth of Wokenjima. And so Angie is sent back in time, or at least her consciousness, is sent back in time to help out with Battler to fight against Beatrice. But Angie wants to make sure Battler's on his toes. She's coming at this a very different perspective, as she has been alone for pretty much entire life by this point. She was only 6 when she lost her only family, and so she's kind of like Ava in a sense, kind of paranoid of everyone she's around. She's very distrustful of others, and she wants to implement that into Battler. As she sees Battler and Beatrice kind of, have friendly chatter with each other, or banter, she is furious at him, of how dare he play around with this witch, how dare he not take this seriously, since Angie's the consequence of the incident at Wokenjima. And so, it's going to be, I feel like Angie's going to be a very interesting character. I already enjoy her, since she's only appeared in, 4 scenes, but I've already, I feel like I know what her character is kind of about. Not in a bad way at all. Oh, this is the entire character? Okay, no, I feel like there's going to be more to Angie, and I can't wait to see much more from her. And, and we stopped at a flashback, or kind of flash forward. Yeah, weird to think, but flashback to Angie's childhood at St. Lucia's Academy, which you guys told me is actually from Higurashi. It's the same academy Shion went to. I knew the name sounded familiar, but I wasn't sure. Maybe I was just at the time, I was maybe I'm just making something up or whatever. But yeah, that's very cool. Another cool thing that someone commented was that St. Lucia is actually a reference to an actual saint of Lucia, who was the patron saint of the blind, in which she was blinded, and through a miracle she was able to see again. And that commenter made a very awesome connection with Lucia and Shion, as in Higurashi, big spoilers for Higurashi, just Higurashi, whatever. In Higurashi, Shannon is blinded by her vengeance towards the people of Himizawa for taking away Satoshi. She's completely blinded by her rage, her vendetta against them, and throughout all of chapter, was it 4 or 5? It was 5, because 4 was Akasaka. 5, she goes on a rampage, killing all the readers, and in the end, she realizes her mistake. Her eyes are kind of opened, you know. And throughout the rest of the chapter, she holds on to the promise of not to hurt anyone else for the sake of Satoshi. And that's really cool. I wonder if that's going to be the same thing with Angie. Well, I mean, maybe her eyes are going to be opened up by the truth of Wokenjima. Maybe that's what it's going to be about. But yes, that was a very cool connection that commenter made. Very just amazing analysis, really. I would have never thought of that at all. But the reason why, you may be wondering, why I'm on the main menu screen, is because of this. Someone mentioned that I should execute both Angie and Ava on this screen so we can get some extra information. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh yeah, I think I gotta. It's a little bit glitched. Here we go. Oh wait, I gotta click on her. Am I clicked on her? Execute. No, I can't. I can't execute Angie. Okay, let me try Ava. No. Let's see. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so you can't execute like characters that haven't died in that episode. Okay, that's good to know at least. That's interesting now. Alright, so let's actually get properly into the episode, shall we? Alright. Angie Umineko. Was there anything else that was mentioned in the comment section? I'm trying to think if there was anything else to mention. No, I don't. I can't remember anything. I'll probably remember something in the middle of the episode and say it, because that's what usually happens, but let's get into it. Good day to you is the standard greeting used here. No matter how many years pass by, the style of greeting still feels very awkward. Even though I responded to the greeting in order to stifle that awkward feeling, the classmate who had spoken looked at me blankly. Eh? The choice of words and manner were certainly what you expect from a school for rich girls, but the actual meaning was as innocent and cool as you expect from kids of that age. It seems they found it funny that I mistakenly thought the greeting was directed at me. No, it might be the opposite. Maybe they didn't know how to react at being suddenly greeted by a grimly quiet kid like me. No, judging by the gazes of my classmates who were looking this way over their shoulders and whispering to each other, it looked as though some of them considered this refreshing morning ruined. I was dark, because I was disliked. So trying not to get in the way of everyone's refreshing morning anymore, I stooped lower and entered the classroom. Almost like I was cutting through the aisle in a movie theater while the movie was running. This is an all-dorm school, St. Lucia Academy. It's not a school that anyone can get into by taking a test. It's a hidden rich girls' school, known of only by a select group of celebrities from various fields. For lofty nobles who truly wish their daughters could be raised like saints. This is probably the ideal school in which to protect them from the impurities of the common world. But at the same time, it was probably also convenient for nobles who wanted to confine daughters they didn't want out in public. As well as an academy isolated from the impurities of the common world, it also held excellent potential as a prison school. I was surely among the latter, and was confined in St. Lucia Academy, forced to live my life in dreariness. Of course, there weren't that many students like me, and you can tell us apart at a glance. However, even if we never fussed up about it, you could usually figure out who we were by watching how we acted. After all, we were always hanging our heads with an expression on our faces as though the whole world had abandoned us. Anyway, every class had one or two kids like that, so even if they didn't speak up about it, you could guess who they were. Therefore, even though I never confessed that I was one of those kids, at some point everyone in my class knew about it. Just like how the seriousness of an injury becomes a sign of status in a hospital room, how noble a birth one had become a sign of status here. Those girls who couldn't be acknowledged in public were probably nothing more than filth to the others. They must have thought that getting involved with such students would dirty them as well. When a rumor sprang up about a particular student, those fictitious girls would grow cold and distant, chasing that student out of all social groups. Thanks to that, I led a quiet school life like this, all by myself. Well, that's only if hearing people whisper behind my back, finding my things lost or broken all the time, and having everyone pretend like they didn't know anything, can be called a quiet school life. Even this early in the morning, I must look worn out. I can almost understand why my other classmates who had a refreshing morning looked at my face and wanted to click their tongues. Consciously trying to do as I should and avoid tainting my classmates' morning, I quietly took my seat. Then, unusually, someone came to talk to me. It was the class leader.
ごきげんよう、白宮さん。朝からご機嫌斜めなご様子ね。ちゃんと睡眠は取られてる？
何かご用ですか？
学年発表会のアンケート、まだ提出してないの。後宮さんだけよ。昨日までが提出日だったの。お忘れ？
I'm pretty sure I heard something about that last week, but I thought that the questionnaire hadn't been passed out yet. The details would be one there, so there shouldn't have been any need to remember them beforehand.
アンケート用紙もらってないですけど。
そんなはずありませんよ。寮長から全員にちゃんと配布されてるはずです。なくしてしまったならそうと素直におっしゃればいいのに。
なくしました。今すぐ書きますから。用紙をいただけますか？
Again, either someone lost my sheet or they intentionally didn't tell me about it. But I have no way of knowing who was behind that. In the end, treating it as though it was my own carelessness would settle everything more quickly.
書いたらご自身で生徒会室のアンケートポストに投函されるように。うちのクラスだけですよ。夕べまでに全員のが揃わなかったのは。
As I hung my head at the class leader's scolding, I could hear the giggles and whispers of people watching coming from their direction in particular. Mira-san did it again. She's just so careless. She doesn't deserve to be in the school. She has no dignity and no manners either. Sorry, girls, but I've dealt with much worse when it comes to unfair personal attacks. As I froze my heart and let those arrows of ridicule pass by, I quickly filled out the questionnaire. When I learned that father and mother and Oni-chan and all the rest of my family had died, I was at the house of my grandpa on my mother's side. The only survivor of the accident was Ushiro Mira-eva. They keep mentioning that what happened in Wokojima was an accident. I'm curious of what's the cover story? What is this sort of accident that kills, 17 people? Only Aunt Eva. Even at the time, I hadn't really liked Aunt Eva. At a glance, she would act kindly, but even as young as I was, I could see that she was somehow making fun of father and the rest, and I didn't liked it. So when it was decided that Aunt Eva would take care of me, I was pretty miserable. Maybe it wouldn't have mattered if that gentle Uncle Hideroshi and George Oni-chan had been with me, but I hated the thought of living all alone with Aunt Eva. I think we said that to Grandpa, hoping to live together in this house. However, Aunt Ava had been very insistent that she should be the one to look after me. She had no desire to remarry, so as her successor, it was essential if the Ushiro family was to continue. Aunt Ava felt very strongly about the family. She insisted that she take charge of me right away so that she could give me an education and lifestyle fitting for a successor. You know what? This reminds me of how Kinzo got into power as well, since most of the family had died within the Kanto earthquake, right? And he was selected because he had a sixth toe or whatever. And he was forced to become the head of the Ushiro family, pretty much. The same thing's happening here, with most of the family dead, with the only adult around trying to raise this child into becoming his successor. Once again, that theme of this cycle of trying to maintain the status of the Ushiro family. You know, it's sad to see the cycle repeat for, at this point, 3 generations. At this point, and how it affects each and every one of the people that's affected. You know, with Kinzo, it transformed him into a mad man who yearned for a woman that didn't exist, or had once existed perhaps, but died a long time ago. And now we have Ava, who wants to raise Angie because, well, there must be a successor. And it can't be, it's not her son either, which she truly wanted, because she cared for her family. Just why she does it? Perhaps just for the status of it, you know. Or maybe perhaps she does it hatefully to pass on a curse, pass this curse on to the next generation, instead of letting it die. Well, it's going to die with Angie, perhaps. She insisted that she take charge of me right away, so that she could give me an education and lifestyle fitting for a successor. After that, it seems that confusing negotiations with warriors took place. But in the end, I was forced to go with Aunt Ava. After doing that, Aunt Ava told me something. You must bear all of the glory and history of the Ushiro family. And in order to make you a fitting successor to bear that, the rest of your life will be dedicated to frantic studying. Sacrifice the rest of your life for the Ushiro family. That's what she said. At first I thought she meant that literally, but I quickly realized that wasn't the case. Because even now, in Aunt Ava's eyes, the one most fitting to succeed was her was the way George Oni-chan. At our first meal together, I received strict instructions and questioning about table manners. I was forced to listen to her abuse Mom and Dad as though they'd been neglectful in their discipline. I also received the same strict instructions regarding manners at my first party, and my clumsiness had been disparaged in front of everybody, forcing me to endure insults to Mom and Dad as well. After I repeated over and over, I eventually began to understand. Aunt Ava didn't really want to make me her successor. She thought George Oni-chan was the only one who truly suited to be her successor, and she couldn't forgive the fact that it was to be me instead. So she insulted me in front of lots of people. She humiliated me, and she made it known exactly how I was inferior to George Oni-chan to both acquaintances and strangers. Surely in place of a memorial service for her dead son, or rather, she must still be mourning his death. God. However, that wasn't something I could endure. I couldn't possibly live together with Aunt Ava. I was kept like a pet, my wife continually compared with her dead sons. I understood that even when I was still in elementary school. I tried to escape the Ushiro Mira house and went off to the house of my grandpa on my mother's side. However, Aunt Ava had already foreseen that. Now, thinking back on it, she might have lured me into escaping. I was caught by the guards and brought back, and for being a coward who had smeared the Ushiro Mira family crest with mud and tried to throw it away, in a way that makes my whole body shake and shiver just remembering it, I was punished. How should I describe what Aunt Ava was like when she punished me? In a frenzy? Griefful? I saw the anger and sadness of losing her beloved son, and as well as the hatred and pain for me stealing that inheritance from the son who should have received it. And the dark pleasure at being able to let those feelings out on me. I was hit with all those negative emotions at once. Jesus. Then all of my free time and freedom to act was stolen, and I was put under surveillance around the clock. I may have lived in a gorgeous mansion, dressed in expensive clothes, but my heart and my dignity had been trampled upon, and I was the Ushiro Mira family's slave, its cattle. Compared to that lifestyle, the derisive laughter of my classmates here was calm and pleasant. It caused my heart no trouble. Was it truly Ava who killed George in Hideyoshi? Was her second personality that strong enough to kill them? While she's left with nothing but her emotions to fall upon Angie for the rest of her life. God. After burying almost all the fields of the questionnaire with nothing in particular, I folded it and put it in my pocket. Because if I left it in my desk, it might disappear again. During lunch break, after jumping off at the post box in the student council room, I finished lunch by myself, as usual, and headed behind the school building where no one could be seen. Only my time by myself could protect me from the derisive laughter and gossip. Since I was hated and didn't have a single friend, my time alone was the most kind to me. After checking the surrounding bushes to see whether some malicious classmates were hiding and threatening my time of quiet, I finally relaxed the tension from my entire body, knowing that I had gained some true peace. Then I let out a sigh. It faltered, heavy, as though it was the first time I'd breathed out today. My old favorite place behind the vegetable garden storehouse had been found out by my classmates, and I'd been teased that this was my new lunchtime hideaway. There was nowhere to sit behind the school building. As I crouched near the wall in the shadow of the bushes, I opened my bag and took out a book with an elaborate old-fashioned binding. Whoa. Damn. One fancy-ass book. Just glancing at it, you'd probably think it was a religious book or something written in the Middle Ages. But this wasn't a book. It was a diary. Of course, it wasn't my diary. There weren't any special things worth writing about in my daily life. Every single day was just gray, cold, and dry. In those completely unchanging days, there aren't any changes worth writing down. This was the diary of Maria Oni-chan, a girl I'd been very close to. The diary. I think we've seen a couple of mentions of this, especially at the end of episode 1, if I remember correctly. She'd been a bit strange and 3 years older than me, but Oni-chan was always a warm, wonderful cousin. She would always grab me by the hand and let me join in on some fun game. I remembered that being able to see her was the most fun part of our family gatherings. When I opened the diary, the characters, which were made fairly skillfully considering that this was an elementary school, were packed close together, though they were written on every other line. Was she just hopelessly obsessed with jotting everything down in her diary? Probably not. To her, writing her daily life down in a diary was probably like having a conversation with another part of herself. So rather than an object in which the events of her day were written down, Maria Oni-chan's diary was written like a letter to another part of herself, telling her of the events of that day. I found this diary among her belongings after her death and secretly took it home. At first I felt that reading someone else's diary might be boorish and satisfied myself with just keeping it by my side. But I couldn't help flipping through the pages and reading through it bit by bit. And by now she had become my only friend. I gently opened to the page with a bookmark.
マリアお姉ちゃん、お待たせ。また、お姉ちゃんのお話を聞かせて。
You know what? You know what Angie's reminding me of? Kind of in a way, Hanyu. Consider this. Angie's also trapped within this cage, like Hanyu, who was trapped in... Actually, her only friend was, Rika with Hanyu, and Angie's only friend is a diary of Maria's. They're both trapped within this kind of weird time thing, with Angie never being able to truly spend time with her deceased family, and Hanyu unable to ever spend time with the club that she is forced to see die over and over again, only able to turn back time 2 weeks. They're in kind of the same position here of unable to grasp this kind of distant group, yet they're so close to it. They're about to touch these groups of people they care about, but they're always so far away, be it by time or be it by planes of existence, But I think that's just an interesting connection, I really love connecting things between these two games, since I feel like there's a lot of similar themes between them, obviously, since, they're sequels. Like, it's interesting. Umineko is obviously a much different story than Higurashi, but at the same time, we still see the kind of same reoccurring themes and all that, and it actually does act kind of like a sequel, with, Rama Delta and Bird Castle, which is the most prominent of that. I just find it very fascinating. At the same time, a very, very soft breeze blew, tickling the paper. I thought the open diary might have sparkled faintly. The weather's good today. Maria Oni-chan loves the wonderful rays of sunlight, so I'm sure she's in a good mood. On the pages of the open diary, no, in the world of the diary, Maria Oni-chan showed herself. Aw, pretty sure she was 9 when she died, so her form was already younger than me. But I call her Oni-chan, so she affectionately called me Angie.
Oh, Angie, 今日は来るのが遅かった。お昼混んでた？
いつも混んでるわ。仲良しグループたちが席を陣取ってる上に、食事を終えた後も席を塞ぎ続けてるから。食堂に行くのが遅くなると致命的ね。今日は片付けの当番だったから。
マリア、ご飯食べるの早い。早く食べ終わるとその分いっぱい遊べるな。
Maybe she realized I was holding a grudge because that duty had been forced upon me and shortened my lunch break by a bit. Maria Oni-chan boldly changed the subject. grateful for that kind of act of kindness, I responded by saying I was a slow eater. Maria calmed me down, saying something about teaching me the trick to eating fast. I read about it in her diary. No, I heard it from Maria Oni-chan. She was ranked number 1 among the girls in the speed eating ranking for her grades newspaper. She was apparently very proud of that, but was disappointed that her mother, Aunt Rosa, hadn't praised her very much for it.
じゃあ今日のお話を始めるね。昨日はどこまでお話をしたかな。お？
ここまでよ。マリアお姉ちゃんがサクタロをプレゼントしてもらったところまで。サクタロの話を聞かせてくれる約束になってたわ。
サクタロのこと話すよ。サクタロはね、とっても可愛いぬいぐるみなの。エンジェもきっと気に入るよ。
そのお話を聞かせて。マリアお姉ちゃんにお話を聞かせてもらえる昼休みだけが学校。
マリア話す。サクタロはね、
When I looked at Maria Oni-chan, who was always in a good mood, it made my heart feel warm as well. As I listened to her tale, I began to get absorbed into her world. Pumpkin and
ハッピーバースデーマリア。ごめんね、帰りが遅くなって。
ママもお仕事お疲れ様。マリア、ママが忙しいの知ってるから遅くなっても泣かないで待ってた。おとなしくテレビ見て待ってた。
マリアは偉いわね。お行儀よく待ってたご褒美に今日は何でも好きなものを注文していいわよ。もちろん食べきれる分だけだけどね。
今日はコーンスープをオニオングラタンスープに変えてもいい？
ええ、いいわよ。
200円高くなるけどプロシュートピッツァに変えてもいい？
ええ、いいわよ。本当に食べられるならね。でもいっか、誕生日だしね。ちゃんとお行儀よく待ってたいい子のマリアにご褒美もないとね。
じゃあデザートにエンチェラーダチーズケーキもつけていい？あとねシェフの気まぐれフルーツサラダにキッズフライドポテト。メロンソーダも飲みたい。マリアはいい子、マリアはいい子。ママに褒められた。
ちょっとはしゃぎすぎよ。もう少し静かにしないと他のお客さんに迷惑よ。
When Rosa gently admonished her, Maria stuck her tongue out and eased up a little. It seemed that she was having a hard time repressing her excitement at being able to eat out with her mother after such a long time. Today was Maria's birthday. As I always try to let Maria spend her birthdays at great restaurants. When Maria had been in kindergarten, they had sometimes invited other kids from the neighborhood over and had a party at home. Rosa would make a wonderful cake and snacks and decorate the house herself, making a huge celebration. But when they moved and Maria no longer had friends in the neighborhood, Rosa had started splurging at expensive restaurants instead. However, today they were in a normal family restaurant. It was also a little late in the day for a kid like Maria to eat there, even with her parents. Actually, she had gotten reservations at a fantastic price that would surely have pleased Maria. Of course, she had also prepared a wonderful cake with Maria's name written on it. But Rosa just hadn't been able to finish up her business and had been forced to cancel. Since that plan had been traded for a local family restaurant, Rosa felt a little indebted to Maria. So she was prepared to spoil Maria a bit and let her have whatever she wanted tonight.
マリアお姉ちゃんってあんまり食べないんじゃなかった？こんなに頼んで大丈夫なの？
あんまり食べられないけどいっぱい並ぶのが好きなの。お誕生日のテーブルはね、赤、青、緑に黄色、いっぱい色とりどりだと幸せになれるの。
そうね。お誕生日のテーブルってカラフルだと幸せな気持ちになれるわね。うちの誕生日はマリアお姉ちゃんのところにはだいぶ負けるけど、駅前のケーキ屋さんで買ってくるケーキがいつもとても華やかだったっけ。
Angie thought back to her own birthdays nostalgically. Even though Dad was busy, he sometimes came home just to show up at my birthday party, and then went right back to his company. At the time I was sad, but now I understand how important I was to Dad. Of course, Mom also took very good care of me. In particular, birthday presents were always in excellent taste, and she sometimes arranged for them several months in advance. Even though we always sent an invitation to battle Oni-chan, he didn't get along with Dad or something, so he kept not coming. So when he did come, I was really happy. The birthday parties when the whole four-person family gathered made for fun memories I'll never forget.
エンジェのお誕生日もとても楽しそうだね。バトラとルドルフおじさんがすごくにぎやか。ワイワイキャッキャ。あ、バトラジュースかけられてる。
Marioni-chan peeked into my happy memory. As I sat quietly wearing the origami helmet that Dad had made for fun, I was a little embarrassed. In my hand was a paper gun that Oni-chan had folded for me. And Mom was taking the commemorative photo. It was the happiest moment of my life.
でもマリアお姉ちゃんの誕生日だって負けてないよ。それで今日もらえるんでしょ、サク太郎は。
すっごく楽しみだった。ママのカバンの脇にあるプレゼントの包みを早く見せてもらえないかなとずっとワクワクしてた。
Sakutaro was the name of the stuffed animal that Maria was received that day. For quite some time before then, Aunt Rosa had been making a stuffed animal to give Maria as a Christmas day. God, this section is really making me sad. You know, it's, I don't know. I've had this thought for a minute ever since this section started of like just reading like old documents of people that were once alive. It's always quite fascinating, you know, like read a document from like the 18th century or like a diary from like the 19th century, like a ship log or a diary or whatever. And it gives us a kind of a peek into what their lives were like, you know. Those things are always kind of melancholic, you know, like it. Like videos on YouTube from like 16 years ago, let's say, like from 2007. People like, for instance, me, I'm about to be 21, so I was born in the 2000s. Obviously, by looking back on those videos, it gives me a kind of nostalgic feeling it's a pure view into a different time, you know, and how by watching those videos, those bring up memories of my own childhood, you know. And the same thing's happening here with Angie as she's wearing Maria's diary. It's bringing about her own memories of her own birthday as well. And it's so it's an interesting thing to feel. Like, I don't know how to describe the emotion, like nostalgia, perhaps, reminiscing, you know. But it's just such an interesting time feeling, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of like it kind of like it's a bit sad, you know. It's a bit bittersweet, you know. It's like Angie, the only recluse for Angie is to read this diary in order to go back to a simpler time in her life. And I bet we all have those, you know, little, like, memories, those particular things that we read about, you know, that bring us to a much, you know, simpler time, perhaps back to our childhood where the world wasn't as dark as it seemed to us when we were children. It's such a, oh god, it's such a, it's such a just, you know, powerful it's a powerful emotion that's I feel like being conveyed very well in this. Like, maybe to some people this may be a little confusing, but to me this makes perfect sense. Like, I can completely follow this, but it's, you know, it's just very interesting, you know. Yeah, I already got this. Hearing that it was a cute wine stuffed animal, Maria Oni-chan had already given it the name Sakutaro, even though she hadn't received it yet. And also, I might as well just bring this up since this is going to be stuck in my head if I don't fucking say it. That's how my brain works. Like, come on, say it, Void. But anyway, it also kind of reminds me of, like, Angie's talking to a kind of fictitious version of Maria, you know, the Maria in her own head of how she would talk to Angie, you know, and we could kind of relate that to us, you know. Why do we grow feelings for fictional characters, you know? Well, why do we truly do that? Why do we grow such heartfelt feelings for characters, for people that have never existed? Why does fiction make us cry? Why does fiction make us, you know, yell? Why does fiction do that to us? Well, of course, it's, you know, dependent on the writer and all that. But at the same time, the reason why fiction is able to bring out emotions to us, or out of us, is how relatable the characters can be. Because the more relatable a character is, the more it brings up memories of our own lives, of our own experiences of like, yeah, I've been through that before, you know. And this can obviously be in many, many different characters and many different themes and a whole bunch of, it's a whole topic we could get into all day. But I feel like the reason why we get emotional from, you know, fictional story is just how it relates to us, obviously, because, you know, and obviously I'm relating to Angie in this moment of kind of reading a story, remembering my own memories of my own birthdays when I was younger, and kind of, you know, thinking of happier days. This is such a weird thing. I hope I'm conveying this correctly for you guys so you can understand what I'm trying to say here. Of, you know, Angie kind of relating to this person she barely remembers, pretty much. This person she only has, you know, flashes of images she remembers of her. You know, she's relating that to herself. And the writing is so good, man, that I'm able to bring out so many different interpretations from just this little scene. You know, it's so fucking good, man. It's so good. Oh my god. Okay. Hearing that it was a cute lion stuffed animal, Maria Oni-chan had already given it the name Saruto. I'm probably butchering that, even though she hadn't received it yet. Today she was looking forward to meeting Saruto even more than her own birthday. Rosa was ran a clothing design company. It seemed to be some kind of brand name. What was it? Anti-Rosa? It seemed that their catchphrase was, "I can't forgive the me of yesterday." Unfortunately, I've never met someone who knew of that brand name. Maybe it wasn't that famous. So Aunt Rosa was particularly skilled with her hands. And I heard that she made some of the clothing she wore herself. So making a stuffed animal had to be well within her capabilities.
手作りのぬいぐるみなんてちょっと素敵。ところでサクタロって名前どういう意味でつけたの？
本当はさくらってつけたかった。でもオスライオンのぬいぐるみだから男の子の名前にしなさいって言われたの。だから男の子っぽく太郎を加えてサク太郎。最後の「う」はいつの間にかなくなっちゃった。
なんでさくらなの？
テレビアニメの主人公の名前。
Cardmaster Sakura. It was the name of the main character in a TV anime that was popular at the time. The fact that she simply borrowed the name of the character she liked was, how should I say it, as innocent and cute as you expect from someone that age.
ママサク太郎まだ。サク太郎も一緒にお誕生日混ぜてあげたい。
プレゼントはいつも最後でしょ。今広げると汚しちゃうわよ。食事が終わるまで我慢しなさい。
じゃあ早く食事を終わらす。
As soon as she proclaimed that, she started tearing into her meal. Almost got mad at her, saying that was rude. It seemed that she expected this would happen right away. I also thought that, given how straightforward Maria was, that was probably what she'd do. So it was kind of pleasant when my expectations weren't betrayed. In the end, Aunt Rosa lost her daughter's eyes, which were sparkling with anticipation. She cleaned up the table and took out the long-awaited wrapped present.
ハッピーバースデーマリアなかなか時間が取れなくてあまり上手に作れなかったんだけど。
ママの手作りなら何でも嬉しい。サク太郎サク太郎。
Aunt Rosa spoke a bit humbly, but Maria Oni-chan was happy even before opening the wrapping. I could really understand that feeling. It's not a problem of quality. Just the fact that it was a handmade present was more pleasing than anything.
開けてもいい？開けてもいい？
本当はお家に帰ってからにしてほしいんだけど、ちょっとだけよ。ちょっと見て挨拶したら一度しまうのよ。ちゃんと挨拶するのはお家に帰ってからにするのよ。ここはお外なんだからはしゃいじゃダメよ。約束できる？
約束する。だから開けてもいい？開けてもいい？ママ。
はいはい。ちょっとだけよ。
Before Aunt Rosa finished talking, Maria started unwrapping it. Aww. Sakutaro's adventure. As soon as she did, yellow and orange peeked out. What appeared was a slightly blank-looking lion stuffed animal, with cute round eyes and a white chest. It was about the size of a small pillow. It looked pretty big next to someone as short as Maria Oni-chan, but probably wasn't that large. From the perspective of someone who didn't know better, it would probably look like something cheap bought from a department store or something. But to Maria Oni-chan, it was her mother's handmade stuffed animal, the only one of its kind in the world and irreplaceable.
サク太郎サク太郎。かわいいかわいい。すっごくかわいい。ママありがとう。ママありがとう。お仕事で忙しいのにこんなにかわいいぬいぐるみを作ってくれて本当にありがとう。
そん んなに褒められるとかえって恥ずかしいわ。全然時間が取れなくて大したものを作れなかったの。本当は抱えきれないくらい大きなのを作るつもりだったのにね。
これでいい。このくらいの大きさならいつも一緒にいられるもん。一緒にお出かけできるもん。サク太郎、お姉ちゃんだよ。ふりゅー。
本当に可愛らしいぬいぐるみね。この子がマリアお姉ちゃんの一番のお友達のサク太郎なのね。
学校には一緒に行けないけど、お家ではいつも一緒にいる一番のお友達なの。サク太郎はね、とっても無垢で可愛らしくて、そしていつもマリアに優しくしてくれるの。マリアに元気がない時には励ましてくれて、マリアが元気な時は一緒にいっぱい遊んでくれるの。だからマリアはもう寂しくなんかない。ママが仕事で忙しくて一人ぼっちでも寂しくないし、学校で誰も遊んでくれなくても全然寂しくないの。ねえ、サク太郎、プリュー。
At school, Marioni-chan had lived in the same kind of environment as I did. Compared to the other kids in her class, Marioni-chan's tempo was always a little slow. Her sensibilities and ways of viewing things were a little peculiar, and a little too idiosyncratic for her to blend in. Her grades were low as well, and since she was talkative about everything related to the occult, her specialty, she was treated like a weirdo by everyone else in the class. If you were touched by Marioni-chan, you'd be cursed, stuff like that. Apparently everyone in the class acted like she was disgusting, made fun of her, and avoided her. If a boy bumped into Marioni-chan, he'd stop rubbing that part against the other boys as if he'd gotten some scum on him. They picked up her stuff like it was something filthy and chased the other boys around with it. It seems the girls thought even speaking to her was unpleasant, so they ignored her all the time, only giggling and sneering at her whenever she made a mistake.
いじめっていつの時代も似たようなものなのね。人間ってほんと進化しないの。滅べばいいの。
マリアはいじめられて悲しいけど、でも仕方ないと思うの。
仕方ない？どうして？
だってクラスには一人いじめられっ子がいないといけないってルールなんだもん。
最低なルールね。それを作ったやつの後頭部をレンガで殴ってやりたいわ。もちろん角で。
もしもマリアがいなくなったら、きっとマリアの代わりに新しい誰かが新しいいじめられっ子に選ばれる。マリアが我慢することで、マリアはその子をかばってあげられるの。
She said that she smiled faintly. Marioni-chan's way of thinking really is unusual. According to her, from the beginning, a witch had resided in that place called a school. No, she says that any place where a lot of people gather will have a witch residing there. The witch tries to steal the students' souls through death by disease or accidents. Apparently, she sometimes also corrupts those souls, leading them down that path of evil. She says that an angel came, not content to let that continue.
天使様はね、魔女をやっつけようとした。でも魔女は強大で、戦いは7日7番に及んだんだけど、それでも決着しなかった。疲れ切った魔女は休戦しようと言ってこう提案したの。
前に聞いたわ。私はこれまでクラスの生徒の半分を病気にしたり怪我をさせたりしてきました。でもその代わりに残りの半分の生徒は病気と怪我から守ってきました。だからもしもクラスの一人を私への生贄にいじめられっ子にしてくれるなら、その他全員の生徒を病気や怪我から守りましょう。だったっけ？
おう、天 天使様は考えたの。クラスの半分が不幸になることに比べたら、クラスの一人だけが不幸になることの方がずっといい。それに魔女はその強力な力で他全員の生徒の安全を守ってくれるという。
クラスに40人の生徒がいるとして、20人の犠牲者が1人に減って19人が助かるというわけね。
Truly, what a trolley problem, huh?
実に合理的な提案。
I wonder if there's some theme behind this fairy tale. If it's a creation by Maria Oni-chan, a 9-year-old girl, that'd be pretty impressive.
天使様はその提案を飲むことにした。だから一人の生贄によって19人は救われた。だからマリアの役割は大切なの。魔女は19人を守ってる。
私たちが生贄になることによってその19人に感謝された覚えはないけれど。
Maria Oni-chan's idea was too compassionate. Both of us are suffering from a very similar type of misfortune. And yet maybe a small difference in our way of thinking changes how peaceful our hearts are.
それでマリアお姉ちゃんは悲しくないの？
悲しくなんかないよ。だってこれからはサクタロが一緒だもんね。サクタロ。うりゅう、マリアと一緒なら僕も元気。
My god, it talks!
ほら、サクタロも元気って言ってるよ。
Maria Oni-chan hugged the Sakutaro stuffed animal, playing both sides of the conversation herself. I don't understand it, but that's exactly why I want to reach Maria Oni-chan's level. So I was intensely drawn to her tale and her words.
エンジェは一人ぼっちだから辛い？
辛いわ。でもマリアお姉ちゃんとこうしていられる時間だけは別。一人ぼっちじゃないから。
サクタロもお友達になればもっと楽しくなるよ。じゃあ今日からサクタロもエンジェの新しいお友達だよ。ね、サクタロ。フリュウ？僕、エンジェのお友達？フリュウ、エンジェ！
Skillfully moving the stuffed animal like it was a puppet, Maria Oni-chan expressed Sakutaro's emotions. She was controlling them, but the charming way he waved his short hand and cocked his head to the side made it feel like he was really a new friend called Sakutaro. Of course, looking at it with cold eyes, it would only appear that Maria Oni-chan was comforting me when I was grumpy. But the soul had definitely been sent into that stuffed animal. The soul of Maria Oni-chan's love. So I acknowledged the existence of a being called Sakutaro inside that stuffed animal.
ほら、エンジェもサクタロに挨拶して。ほら、サクタロもご挨拶。うりゅう？エンジェ、怖い人？
The Sakutaro timidly looked at me. He unexpectedly met my gaze and hid behind Maria Oni-chan's back in surprise. Maria Oni-chan really is good at pointing with stuffed animals.
大丈夫だよ、サクタロ。エンジェは怖くないよ。とっても優しい女の子だよ。どうも。サクタロです。ウリュウ。
はじめまして、サクタロウ。エンジェよ。新しいお友達になれて嬉しいわ。
I held my hand as though asking for a handshake. Sakutaro's short hand was stuck out towards me, lightly touching my index finger. After all, when a human and stuffed animal shake hands, their sizes are too different. This greeting by touching each other's fingers was our handshake.
これでもうエンジェとサクタロはお友達だよ。一人よりは二人、二人よりは三人の方がもっと楽しいよ。 うりゅー
Rioni-chan had given the name Sakutaro to the stuffed animal she was to receive on her birthday, and had warmed and expanded his existence in her heart for a long, long time. Therefore, even before she met him, his existence was sublimated into a personality. Even at the first moment they met, they were already friends. Of course, that wasn't anything extraordinary then in Rioni-chan's eyes. Although I don't think she personified and loved anything quite as much as Sakutaro. She loved the things she owned very much, treating them just like friends or beloved pets. Maybe Aunt Rosa hadn't let her keep a pet at some point in time, so she felt like treasuring objects instead. Maybe she was so isolated that she'd been forced to find a friend nearby. Because of all that, what happened that day wasn't anything extraordinary from her perspective. Even so, Sakutaro, no, maybe I should call it Sakutaro, like Rioni-chan. There's no doubt that Sakutaro was a stuffed animal. No, a friend whom she loved more than anything or anyone.
Moshi, Mamaよ。上機嫌ね。お友達が来てるの？
サクタロと遊んでるの。サクタロったらね。
God, why is this section getting to me? Fuck, man, shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. This section's so, I don't know, happy. I don't know. But fuck, man. Shit. It was already about 9 at night. Rosa had asked because this wasn't a good time to have a friend over. She had been just a little surprised. But when she thought about it, Maria didn't have any friends who would come over to play, did she? Even so, to think that she'd have so much fun playing with that stuffed animal. Rosa was very pleased that Maria had liked her birthday present so much.
ごめんね。ママ、どうしても仕事が片付かなくて。来期のラインナップが難航してるの。ようやく少しずつ注目され始めたみたいで、なんとかここで期待に応えられるインパクトを与えたいのよ。
今夜もお泊まり？いいよ。頑張ってママ。
そう？ありがとうね、マリア。ママのお仕事のことを分かってくれてありがとう。
Rosa was surprised that Maria accepted so easily that she wouldn't be able to come home from work. To Rosa, having to tell Maria that she'd be coming home late or staying overnight was a huge burden. Maria would start crying about how lonely she was on the other end of the phone, and it took a lot of time and effort to calm her down. To think that Maria would accept it in such high spirits. Is this also thanks to Sakutaro? Rosa was once again pleased that she'd given her daughter such a good present.
明日のこの時間には帰れるようにするわ。明日は一緒に夕食をとりましょう。マリアは夕食はまだよね。コンビニでお弁当を買ってきて食べてね。お菓子はダメよ。ジュースもダメよ。お釣りと一緒にレシートも入れておくのよ。わかった？
サクタロとお買い物、サクタロとお買い物。
こら、サクタロはダメよ。お留守番させなさい。
From Maria's manner of speech, Rosa got the feeling that Maria might have gone shopping with that stuffed animal without her knowing about it. Rosa's forehead creased, and after sourly saying that Maria definitely mustn't do that, she hung up.
お
Aww.
サクタロとお買い物ダメだってママに言われた。ウリュウ、マリアとお買い物に行けない。 一人でお留守番寂しい。なんでママサクタロとお買い物行っちゃダメなんて言うんだろう。おおウリュウ、きっと僕がマリアと一緒にいるのを見られると恥ずかしいんだよ。恥ずかしい？なんで？ママはよく僕を外に連れて行っちゃいけないって言うし、マリアのことをよくもう何歳になったんだからダメとかそういう言い方をするし。マリアはサクタロと一緒で全然恥ずかしくないよ。僕はライオンだけどぬいぐるみだし。ライオンでぬいぐるみだけどマリアのお友達だよ。だから一緒にお出かけしよう。ママがいない時だけ内緒で。ひょっとしてサクタロも恥ずかしい？僕は恥ずかしくないけど。ウリュウ、ちょっとお外の人が怖い。そっか。じゃあサクタロが怖くなくて一緒にお出かけできるようにする。
Why am I so engaged with this little girl talking to a stuffed animal? What? Oh my god. Holy shit, man.
マリアに任せて。便利なのがあるの。
Maria started fishing around her messy room. Liz often told her to clean it up, but Maria apparently didn't like doing it. However, Maria herself knew more or less where everything was. It's a system. So much so that if it were to be cleaned up, she would have trouble finding where anything was exactly.
ほら見てサクタロ。ラップサック。
Maria proudly held it up high. Sakutaro looked at the knapsack, which was gaping open, squirming as though saying, "Are you serious?"
ウリュウ、マリア、もしかして。これなら一緒にお買い物に行けるし、サクタロも怖くないよ。
Maria held Sakutaro up and started stuffing him in the knapsack. At first, she tried to stick him in the head first, but then he'd be upside down and suffocate. So she pulled him out and tried to put him back in again, feet first.
ウリュウ、きつい、狭い、暗い。ウリュウ。ほら、大丈夫だよ。頭を出せば狭くないし暗くないから怖くないよ。景色もいいよ。ウリュウ、本当だ。これならマリアと一緒にお買い物に行っても大丈夫？大丈夫だよ。今日のお夕食は何がいいかな。さあさあ、お出かけしよう、サクタ
マリアお姉ちゃん、楽しそう。
とっても楽しい。一人だったら寂しくてつまらないことでも、サクタロが一緒なら何でも楽しい。どんな人間のお友達だって夕方になったらお家へ帰らなきゃならない。
Man, there's so many layers to this. We have Angie, who's reading this book about Maria, who's talking to a personalized version of Maria within her head, reading a blog about Maria going out to a store with a stuffed animal she's projected herself onto. So many layers. What is this, House of Leaves? But I got it. I'm good with it. I can still keep track, folks.
でもサクタロは帰らないし、いつまでも一緒にいてくれる。一緒にテレビも見るし、お布団の中だって一緒だし、雷が怖い夜には手だって握っていてくれる。クローゼットやベッドの下のお化けだって追っ払ってくれるんだよ。サクタロ頼もしい。ウリュウ、マリアを怖がらせるお化けは僕ライオンだから勇気を出して追い払っちゃうよ。ウリュウ、ガオー。
I wouldn't be surprised if this was Rika's voice actress, because it sounds similar to hers. They were so close that it made me a little envious. I'm supposedly older now than Maria Oni-chan was then. But Maria Oni-chan really is my Oni-chan, and I still haven't reached her level. If only I had a friend close by like Sakutaro.
マリアもサクタロもエンジェの身近なお友達だよ。いつもマリアたちはエンジェのすぐそばにいる。でもエンジェの魔法が弱いから、こうしてマリアの日記を開かないと知覚できないだけ。
知覚？マリアお姉ちゃんは難しい言葉を知ってるね。
According to her, this world is full of magic and spirits, and there is natural nearby as the light blaze.
風って普段は気にもしないし見えもしないけれど、お線香の煙とかがたなびくとそれを見ることができるんじゃない？
そうね。そしてそれは見えなくても普段から私たちの身近にあるものだわ。
そういうこと。マリアもサクタロもいつだってエンジェのすぐ近くで一緒なんだよ。神様や精霊、守護霊も私たちのすぐ身近にいるの。
Well, for Megarashi, she's right.
でも意識しないと存在を感じられない。目では見えない風のように。でもそれは確実に私たちの身近にあって、魔力という煙がたなびけば誰にだって見えるものなの。
Truly trails in the sky. The third. I thought I'd only be able to meet Maria Oni-chan while this diary was open. But from what she says, she's always with me, and I can meet her at any time if I truly desire to.
マリアは自分の日記に日々の記録と一緒に自分の魂のかけらを残しておいたの。だからこの日記にはマリアの魔法の力が宿ってるの。でもそれはとても微弱なもので、エンジェ以外の人には誰も感じ取れない。
私にだけはわかるの？
うん。だってエンジェはマリアと同じで魔女の力を宿しているもの。エンジェだってちゃんとお勉強すればきっと将来立派な魔女になれるんだよ。
魔女？それは楽しいのかしら？
楽しいよ。そうすれば日記を開かなくてもマリアやサクタロがいつも身近にいるのがわかるようになるよ。そしたら毎日がとっても楽しくなる。そしたらエンジェにマリアは他にもたくさんのお友達を紹介できるよ。そしたら毎日が忙しくてとっても賑やかになるよ。
それは楽しいかもしれない。マリアお姉ちゃんが残した魔導書も持ってるわ。今度真面目に読んでみるわね。そしたら私も一人ぼっちじゃなくなるかな。
Maria Oni-chan and Sakutaro said that at the same time, happy that I had developed an interest in the world of witches. Cage. Fitting name. With her knapsack on her back and half of Sakutaro's face peeking out of it, she triumphantly walked through the shopping district late at night. Well, it was that time of day after all. Everyone in the shopping district was either a shop owner lowering the shutters on their shops or an employee rushing or else staggering on their way home. Amidst all that, Maria, who was in a good mood like someone on a hike, probably looked quite merry. Every once in a while, passing employees would glance at her back with the eyes of someone seeing something out of place. Often, office ladies giggled at the cute stuffed animal poking its head out of a knapsack. The supermarket had been closed for a while by this time. However, convenience stores, which had been growing popularity lately, stayed open until midnight. It was very convenient for Maria, whose mother's return was often late. Maria lowered the knapsack from her back and, carrying like a child in her arms, she headed over to the sweet buns corner. She pointed to a sweet bun she had eaten before, explaining to Sakutaro that this one was delicious. And that one was pretty good too. Sakutaro seemed to be enjoying it a lot.
マリアは3色パンにする。これ 一つでね、あんことクリームといちごジャムが食べられるの。でもたまにウグイスあんだったり白あんだったりするの。あんこは一種類でいい。うりゅう、いろいろ入ってて面白そう。うりゅう。あとはマリアはフルーツヨーグルトにする。フルーツ入ってるけどお菓子じゃないよね。うん、きっとママも大丈夫。サクタルもどれか欲しい？うりゅう？いいの？お金は大丈夫？うん、全然平気。ほら、聖徳太子なの。
Damn.
だからサクタロにも好きなものを買ってあげられるよ。
Wait, is 5,000 yen what? I don't think it actually is. I think it's like $5 USD.
一緒に食べよう。サクタロもヨーグルト食べる？
Maria made to grab another one of the same fruit yogurt. Sakutaro bent his head slightly worried.
でも僕大きいのは食べられないから小さいのでいい。ほう、じゃあこの小さいお菓子ヨーグルトは30円だね。安い。うりゅ、僕はそれでいい。マリアと一緒にヨーグルト。サクタルと一緒にヨーグルト。
Maria put the free covered bread and the 2 yogurts into a shopping basket and brought them to the register. The man running the register had been in charge of the tobacco shop that had been here until last year.
お嬢ちゃん、この時間によく見かけるね。偉いけど、今度からこの時間のお買い物にはお母さんと一緒においでね。
ママがいいって言ったから大丈夫。ママはいつもお仕事で帰りが遅いけど、マリアたちは寂しくなんかないの。ね、サクタロ。うりゅう。
そっか、そりゃ大変だね。ほら、ジュースを1本おまけしてあげるよ。
The man walking to the store took a can of leftover soda or something from behind the register and packed it into a bag with everything else.
おじさん、ありがとう。よかったね、サクタロ。うりゅう。
Since she had been told not to buy soda, she couldn't take it back home. So she decided to drink it on her way back and not bring an empty can back home. Smart. With a vinyl bag with a sweet bun in it around her elbow, holding the knapsack with Sakutaro in it with that same arm and drinking her soda, the two of them walked home.
柚子胡椒ソーダって微妙。サクタロも飲んでみる？うりゅうりゅうりゅうりゅうりゅうりゅうりゅう。うりゅう。マリアひどい。まずい。だよね。
Of course, it's not like she could actually make a stuffed animal drink soda. She just put the can in Sakutaro's mouth and pretended to tilt it. But it was fun for Maria to share the taste of this weird drink that she had gotten for free with Sakutaro. There's a huge moon in the sky. At times, that moon had been crowded by tears when she'd been unmanageable during Rosa's overnight stays, and when she'd been scolded by her mother. But this moon was very warm, and seemed to watch over the two of them as they enjoyed their trip home by themselves. Maria and Sakutaro. Angie watched the two of them go from behind. She looked so warm from behind. After looking at the backs of Maria, Ange, and Sakutaro together, it became very hard to remember all those long nights when she cried because her mother hadn't come home. I couldn't say it to Maria Oni-chan, but if I had been in the same position, I may have given a stuffed animal the name Sakutaro, but it wouldn't have been anything more or less than a stuffed animal. Anyone can make a relationship that only distracts you from your loneliness. But Maria Oni-chan was different. Sakutaro isn't a stuffed animal or a toy. He was a real friend, and far from just distracting Maria from her loneliness. He changed the nights without her mother into a fun time where they could play all by themselves. Was it because Sakutaro was a special stuffed animal? Because her mother had made it herself? Because it was very, very cute? Probably not. If there's a secret here, it doesn't lie within Sakutaro. I think it probably lies within Maria Oni-chan.
これがマリアお姉ちゃんの言う魔法の力なの？
魔法を知るということは、今まですぐそばにいたのに気づけなかったたくさんの友達に気づけるということ。まるで新しいおもちゃ屋さんが近所にたくさんできるみたいに楽しいこと。
If even I, locked up in an academy without a single friend, had power like Maria Oni-chan, I wonder if I could make my days just a bit richer. I wonder if I'll be able to honestly shed tears on nights I feel like crying, to smile on gray nights.
できるよ。エンジェはできる。だってエンジェにだって魔女になれる資格があるもん。
魔女になる資格？
マリアも魔女になれる資格あるんだよ。だからまだまだ勉強中の修行中なの。きっと素敵な魔女になってほうきでお空をかけてケーンで虹を描いて飴玉を空から降らせるの。マリアはきっとできるよ。そしたらエンジェにも見せてあげるね。きっとそれは素敵な夢の中のような光景だから。
Maria Oni-chan said that, making an absolute promise with her smile. There's no way I can become a witch. But if Maria Oni-chan says that, it makes me feel that maybe I can become a witch. Because in reality, in that desolate night, when no flowers of smile could possibly have bloomed, magic surely gave birth to a smile.
魔女になれるかな？
なれるよ。エンジェは少し年齢を重ねちゃったから魂が少し重力に惹かれちゃってる。だからマリアよりも修行は大変かもしれないけど、でもきっとなれるよ。だってもうエンジェは魔法の一端に触れてるもの。
It's interesting because I read a series recently, comic series by the name of Lock and Key. Great series, recommend check it out. But that also has a kind of magic system with a bunch of keys that do many, many things and all that. And the one rule is, like, once you turn 18, you forget about the keys, you know. There's always, in stories, a lot of fictional stories, there's always been that kind of I wouldn't say theme, but more like continuity of childhood being associated with magic, you know. I've always found that fascinating because, well, it makes sense, you know. Childhood is a lot more magical to us than adult or teenage life when we finally see the world for what it is, you know. Instead of a world of possibilities, it's a world of absolutes instead, you know. I've always just found that kind of fascinating, and it obviously relates back to this as well, since witches have been characterized as, you know, younger, really besides Beatrice, but she's more childish with, like, mentally than physically. So I find that very, like, fascinating, you know.
私が魔法？
だってほら、もうこの世にはいない私をこうして呼び出して語らっているよ。
これは魔法なの？
私が日記に残した魂のかけらを エンジェは魔法で膨らませて私を蘇らせてる。さっきも言ったよね。こうして私と再会して会話ができて、時に笑顔を見せられるんだから、エンジェは魔法の才能がきっとあるんだよ。マリアお姉ちゃんが保証する。
お姉ちゃんはさっき言ったわ。私は日記を開いた時にしか会えないと思ってるけど、本当はいつも身近にいるって。私に魔法の力がもっとあれば、それを見て、今こうしているようにお姉ちゃんと会話ができる？いつでも？
いつでもお話できるよ。朝のおはようの時だっていつもそばにいるし、授業中だってそばにいる。退屈な授業は私とお話しして気を紛らわせようよ。食事の時には話し相手になれるし、お昼休みだってこれまでのようにいつも一緒にいようよ。放課後だって一緒にいるし、もちろん寮に帰ってからだって私はいつもそばにいる。日記を広げた時にしか私を見てくれないだけ。
日記を閉じてもマリアお姉ちゃんは私のそばにいてくれるんだよね。
いるよ。だからエンジェが私を見ようとして、そして話そうとしてくれれば、私はきっと答えられるよ。しっかりと見て話そうとしてくれれば。
私やってみる。
簡単じゃないよ。いきなり上手くなんてきっといかないよ。
分かってる。きっと簡単じゃないと思う。でも私マリアお姉ちゃんみたいになりたい。
おお、わかった。じゃあ私をよく見て。しっかり見て。ゆっくり目を閉じたり開いたりして。いきなり長くつむっちゃダメ。私の姿を瞳に焼き付けては、それをまぶたの裏に染み込ませていくつもりで。
やってる。
まぶたを閉じても私をイメージできるようになったら、そのままゆっくり柔らかく目を閉じていて。どう？まだ私が見えている？
多分見えてると思う。
じゃあ一度目を開いて。いよいよ本番。心を落ち着けたら日記を閉じて。その時一度マリアの姿は消えてしまうかもしれない。でも焦らずに心を落ち着けて。そしてまぶたの裏に染み込ませた私を逆に瞳に染み込ませていくつもりで、ゆっくりと虚空に私をイメージして。私を虚空に見て。
大丈夫。じゃあ閉じるね、日記。
Slowly, I closed it. When I did so, a gray reality filled with dull air unfolded. Of course, Maria only transformed, disappeared. Give it all you got, have courage. Take it the first step into the world of witches. I felt like Maria Oni-chan was cheering me on inside my heart. She's cheering me on? Really? Or do I just think that she is? No, that's wrong. It's because I think this that I cannot see her. Look into the ocean and what do you see? Maria Oni-chan is always by my side. And even now she's definitely there, cheering me on to do my best. That reached my ears. So I must ignore it like it's my imagination, the voice of my own heart. I believe that Maria Oni-chan is there. I mustn't doubt. I believe. Oni-chan said she'd always be by my side. I must not doubt that. By looking at that empty space, by the empty back wall of the school building, Amidst those almost heartless reborn ways of sunlight, calling out her name was unexpectedly difficult. The chains of common sense that clung to me until today sneered at me, telling me that calling out to the idea was ridiculous. It was almost like being told to take a step forward off the roof of a skyscraper overlooking a sea of lights. It's Maria Oni-chan saying it. It's alright, she's saying that I'm someone who can do it. So thinking that you might fall or that it might be foolish to take a step off the roof and free yourself from those chains of common sense. I studied my breathing. I concentrated my mind. Make the vivid form of Maria Oni-chan on the empty space before you rise to the surface. Understand magic and see Maria Oni-chan. It's all about.
マリア、お姉ちゃん。
誰かいるの？
At that time, I was answered by a rustle in the bushes and a loud cry, and I came to my senses. It looked like I wasn't the only one behind the school building. No, since I'd been so immersed in the world of the diary, I noticed someone coming. I recognized a group of three beyond the bushes. They were kids from my class. From their appearance, it felt as though they'd come behind the school building to gossip about someone or talk in secret. I hurried out of that place. Because if it became known that I'd been alone in a place like this, mumbling to myself would become a pain again.
言ったよね。言ったよね。マリアお姉ちゃんとか言ったよね。やばくない？心霊とか見えちゃってんじゃないの？あれ。
後ろ宮さんって面白い。
I could hear the shrill, loud laughter from behind. Irritated and feeling that Maria Oni-chan had been made fun of, I left that place at a quick pace and then jogged once I turned the corner. And I might have made it to Oni-chan's world with just a little more time. It was frustrating, aggravating. Why does everyone get in my way? I haven't gotten in anyone else's way, not even once. I ran and ran, but it still felt as though I could hear their shrill laughter. Jeez. God. Future 12 years later. God damn, man. Trying to obtain that world. To believe in something, to truly believe in it. Like Maria. Being there at all times.
噂じゃあ、エンジちゃん。
Motherfucker. Motherfucker. God damn it. Why can I not remember his name? It's sort of an O. Fuck. Fuck. It's going to bother the shit out of me if I don't remember his motherfucker's name. Because that's the same motherfucker. Oh, no. Oh, fuck. What was his name? What was his name? Damn it. God damn it. It's like the SpongeBob scene. What was his name? What was his name? Oh, motherfucker. Okuyasu? No. No. Fucking. God damn it. God damn it. What was this fucker's name again? God damn it. I can't remember. Oh, this motherfucker's back again. Oh, Oni. Fucking god damn it, what was his name? Fucking, this bastard, this son of a bitch is back.
あんた、ビルのてっぺんから飛び降りたんだって？
追っかけがうざかったんで、ちょっと巻こうと思って。
Angie, an old gentleman, wearing an expensive suit, were alone in a massive modern conference room. All the newest machines for presentations were installed there, but they didn't upset its refined and composed atmosphere. and that one was enough to make the business-like theme of the room abundantly clear. However, that didn't matter at all to Angie. She curiously sat on a high-class chair that executives making a salary of several 10 million yen probably sat in, looking aloof from the world.
下の方の階で改装工事してて、転落防止ネットがあるの知ってましたし。
Interesting. Okay, so this is after her consciousness went back in time, so her body is still... She's still in, like, the real world, or, like, in the future, kind of. So maybe it's kind of like a, maybe it's like a kind of Soma situation, in which your consciousness can, like, split into two, and depending on which consciousness you're a part of, you are, like, set either back in time or you just stay in present. Maybe it's kind of like that system of time travel or whatever. Angie talked about it like it was no big deal, but in reality it had been a miracle among miracles. To think that she shot through several layers of safety netting for the remodeling project, Jesus. Being caught in a multicolored banner adorning the Ultram and swept off, only to be softly caught by a final banner, landing on the ground without a scratch. And then briskly leave that place. They put Hong Kong movies to shame.
いくらネットがあるの知ってたったって、高さ200メートルの超高層だよ。もしも思い通りにならなかったら、今頃大変なことになってただろうよ。
God damn it, his name is on the tip of my fucking tongue. It's going to bother the shit out of me. Ona, it's O. It's O. What's it S? No, it's O. Ona. Fuck. God damn it.
死んだら死んだで、それまでってことでもいいかなって思いまして。まあその、ちょっとした運試しです。若気の至りってことで。
Oni, Kuroshi, Oni, no. Oni. Fuck. As though saying that she had enough of that topic, Angie shrugged coldly. Seeing that the old gentleman, who was looking at the world below through a crack in the blinds, cackled.
運試しときたか。いやはや、やっぱり金蔵さんのお孫さんだね。天賦。天の流れに命を預けてもケロリとしてるその度胸。会長も博打に平気で命をかけられる人だったが、これも後ろ宮の血なのかね。
Chairman, huh? Takano, perhaps, or someone else.
やっぱりあんた、
Maybe
将来大物になるよ。
Or no, it wouldn't make sense if you talk about, maybe Ava or Taka, whatever.
悪いことは言わない。家出ごっこはこの辺で切り上げて、スマデラの家に戻ったらどうだい？
Ooh, Samadera family.
お母さん、実家と仲が悪かったって聞いてます。お葬式で初対面の人の家になんて、行きたくないです。
The Sumaderas are Mom's family. They're an old family from Kyoto, and compared to Mom's frank attitude, unbelievably strict. The only Sumadera I'd been on good terms with was Grandpa, who was living apart from his family under the guise of retirement. Mom kept in touch with him too, but she avoided the rest of the family completely, almost hostilely so. So when I went out to play with the Sumadera family, it was always Grandpa's house I visited. When I was young, I didn't really understand it, but I heard that Grandpa was in an extremely weak position as a man who'd moved into his wife's family register, and his relationship with Grandma was also bad. You might even say that Grandma hated him and confined him to the house. It isn't hard to imagine that, because she had a soft spot for Grandpa alone. Mom was also hated by the Samaderas. Since I was her daughter, they probably hated me quite a bit too. And yet they appeared for the first time at Mom's funeral. Shamelessly going on about how big I gotten, like they could actually act like family after all this time. When Aunt Ava died, I would inherit all the wealth of the Ushiro family. If that wasn't what they were after, there's no way they would have been able to say such disgusting words.
まあ、一人ぼっちになっちまって、自暴自棄になりたいエンジェちゃんの気持ちも わからなくもないな。
My fucking thoughts are just overrun with what the fuck this guy's name was. God damn it.
自暴自棄とかじゃないです。小うるさいエヴァおばさんもやっとくたばったんで、久しぶりにのびのびと散歩してるだけじゃないですか。周りが大げさに騒ぎすぎなだけです。
Oh, is she dead? Of course, everyone's after the vast social mirror wealth I bear. They must think that becoming my guardian means they'll be able to do as they please with that wealth. Just how many people have tried to get close to me, acting like they want to be a substitute parent.
エンジェちゃんも辛いことがあったら、俺でよかったらいつでも相談してな。エンジェちゃんのこと、実の孫みたいに思ってるんだからさ。
Of course you do. Oh, fuck.
はあ、当面はノーサンキューということで。それより話を戻してください。
エンジェちゃん、何度聞かれたって俺が隠してることは何もないよ。あの日の六軒島の唯一の生き残りが会長なんだ。
Okay, so he was referring to Ava.
その会長が何も語らずに言っちまった。俺だって何もわからないよ。すべては闇の中だ。
This old gentleman was one of those readers who had been entrusted with the business group Ava had built up after she passed away. So, after getting his ass kicked by a couple of fucking kids in a mountain, he decided to become a businessman. You know, might as well give up the whole special ops thing when you get your ass kicked by a bunch of middle schoolers. The one he called chairman was the former chairman Ushiro Mira Ava. His company once had thrown away ties with Hideroshi's business. Yep, I know they mentioned his fucking name, like in episode 1 or episode 2. George mentioned them. I can't remember his fucking name though. He had had a close relationship with both Hideroshi and Ava. For that reason, when Ava lost Hideroshi, he became the only person to whom Ava might have let her true intentions slip. Whenever Ava's heart was torn by the loss of her family, whenever she took it out on Angie, he had acted as a buffer between the two, so although Angie didn't trust him, she found him a very easy person to question.
あの事件は、いや、事故か。事件なんて言っちまったら怒られちまうな。そりゃ俺も世間やワイドショーと同じ程度の疑問は持ったさ。
どうしてエヴァおばさんは事故当時、屋敷から2キロも離れたところにたった一人で
2 kilometers away from the mansion.
それも嵐の晩に。
当時、金蔵さんは次の跡継ぎに誰を選ぶかで迷われていた。表向きは長男のクラウスさんってことになってたんだが、クラウスさんはあまり信頼されていなかったんだ。
それで親兄弟4人の中から公平に跡継ぎを決めるため、碑文の謎というゲームじみた試練を課した。
それは表向きだな。おそらく金蔵さんは初めからエヴァさんを当主跡継ぎにするつもりだったんだ。長男が跡継ぎだという自らのルールを撤回してでも、クラウスさんと違い非常に勤勉で優秀だったエヴァさんに家を任せたかったんだ。碑文の謎を解いた者に家督を引き継ぐなどという新ルールは、クラウスさんから次期当主の肩書きを奪うためだけの茶番だったんだろうな。
茶番ってどういう意味ですか？
あの碑文は誰にも解ける必要はなかったのさ。適当に刑事期間を経た後、本当に金蔵さんが後を継がせたかったエヴァさんを呼び出し、その答えを与えるだけでいい。つまりそれこそが当主継承の証ってわけさ。
それはワイドショーでは言われていない話ですね。
まあ当主継承がうんぬんなんて話をしたら余計陰謀説が優勢になっちゃうからね。俺もバカじゃないからさ、誤解を招くようなことはわざわざ口にしないよ。
This was his theory. At that time, the Ushiro family head, Kenzo, whose remaining wife was announced to be short, was troubled by the problem of who was to succeed him. Normally, the successor would be fixed as the oldest son, Klaus, whom Kenzo had chosen himself. But in his later years, Kenzo began to think that Eva would make a more fitting family head. However, Kenzo, who was stubborn even against himself, was stemmed by the title of successor that he had already given to Klaus. And he searched for an official stance by which he could skip over Klaus and select Eva as his successor. The official stance was the Riddle of the Epitaph. The primary successor was still Klaus, but there was a new rule saying that if someone appeared who could solve the riddle, they would be chosen as the successor to the headship. Then on what would probably be his final family conference, Kenzo told Eva the answer to that riddle himself. In short, it was the same as proclaiming that Eva herself was the successor.
エヴァさんはあの日、金蔵さんに呼ばれ、それを打ち明けられたんだ。そして、当主を引き継ぐため、当主だけが知る隠し館であるクワドリアンにエヴァさんを呼びつけたのだ。
で、一足早くその隠し館で待っていたエヴァおばさんは、そのおかげで事故の難を逃れた。
What accident?
エヴァおばさんが全ての財産を奪うために事故を装ってみんなを殺し、自分だけ難を逃れただけかもしれない。
大衆紙はそう騒いでるな。
I mean, let's be perfectly honest here. If the bodies were moved at all, they were all stabbed in different places in the body by fucking stakes, you know? So I don't fucking know how you could interpret that as an accident.
だが、俺はエヴァさんを信じてるよ。信ずるに足るポイントがいくつかあると思ってる。
例えば？
今エンジェちゃんが指に通してるその後ろ三宅投手の指輪だよ。その指輪は金蔵さんが特別に作らせた世界に一つしかない指輪だ。そして今エンジェちゃんが指にしているものは間違いなくそれだと作った細工師も認めてる。
The Ushiro family head's ring. That ring with the heft of gold and the one-winged seal on it had a diamond arranged on a pedestal and felt both sturdy and reminiscent of the dark hobbies of the rich. Kenzo had worn that on his finger without removing it even for a moment. This man was saying that the fact that Eva had it proved that Kenzo acknowledged her as a successor.
その指輪を確かにエヴァさんが持つからこそ、そして実際にエヴァさんが優秀で、クラウスさんにはビジネスシーンでの数々の醜態が知られていたことを加味すると、エヴァさんの話は全くの作り話とは思えないんだ。
その指輪を奪うためにおじいさまを殺害した可能性だってあるけれど、そしてエヴァおばさんは何らかの細工をして事故に見せかけて一族を皆殺しにした。
そうだな。大衆氏は財産の独り占めが目当てで一族を皆殺しにしたなんて言ってるようだな。確かにエヴァさんはここ一番では随分思い切ったこともしちゃう人だよ。あるいは後ろ宮家の財産を独り占めできるチャンスに生涯でただ一度の殺人を犯したかもしれない。だがね、俺はそうは思わない。
そう信ずるに足るポイントの2つ目は？
エヴァさんのご家族だよ。秀吉さんにジョージ君。
Yeah?
エンジェちゃんはにわかには信じがたいだろうけど、エヴァさんはあれでかなり家族を大事にする人だったんだ。
Oh, this guy, whose name I can't fucking remember, spider the shit out of me. He has a point there. He does have a point there. If Eva did kill everybody, why did she kill, Hideyoshi and George? True, part of me didn't want to believe it or acknowledge it, but I did understand vaguely. Aunt Eva certainly had been a person who I treasured her family. After all, the root of her twisted personality had been nothing more than the sadness of losing her beloved husband and son. After getting hit with her with her angry outbursts that she tried to distract herself from that pain, I have no feelings of sympathy at all. But it's not like I can't imagine how the incredible shock of losing her whole family must have changed her character.
家族を愛したエヴァおばさんが夫と息子を見捨てるわけがないと？
そうだ。もし本当にエヴァさんが犯人で一族を事故に見せかけて皆殺しにしたならば、夫と息子が絶対に生き残ってるはずなんだ。偶然自分の家族だけが隠し館にいたとへりくつをこねてね。もし秀吉さんとジョージ君も無事だったなら、さすがの俺でもエヴァさんの陰謀を疑ったろうよ。俺は秀吉さんの葬儀で見せたエヴァさんのあの号泣を演技だなんて到底思えんね。
どっちも状況証拠的ですね。エヴァおばさんの潔白を物理的に示すには至らない。
それを言っちゃおしまいだよ。生き残ったのはエヴァさんのみ。その彼女がそれが真実だと言うんだからさ。
でも彼女の潔白は誰にも証明できない。
ああ、そうさ。そして彼女の犯行も誰にも証明できない。
Oh, you got his theories and not much evidence.
そして信ずるべきポイントの最後が警察だ。
So?
何しろ派手な事件だったからね。陰謀説を騒ぐ世論に後押しされて、警察が随分とエヴァさんを調べたはずさ。
It was easy to feel something unnatural about the claim that Ava had avoided the accident by coincidence, because she alone had escaped to a hidden mansion. Furthermore, at the time, Hideroshi's company had been right in the middle of a takeover struggle, and in order to buy off the big stockholders, she wanted a large sum of cash. It shouldn't be too hard to find a motive there. As a matter of fact, there had been nothing at all that implicated Ava as she went to the family conference. Nothing unnatural was found in her that could have been used to brutally murder her family and make it look like an accident. The servants who escaped harm by being off duty on the day also stated that they hadn't seen anything strange regarding anyone related to the event, Ava included. Putting all that together, it could only be concluded that Ushio Mira Ava had headed to Okajima for a normal family conference without any change. It had encountered an accident.
警察があれだけ散々調べて事件性を見出すことができなかった。
Couldn't find any evidence that it was a crime. So so what's the story then? What's the public story of this accident? What the hell is it?
警察がそう断じた。それで六軒島疑惑は決着じゃないのかな。
それは単に警察は事件性を発見できなかったってだけの話じゃないんですか？
それを言い出したらキリがないな。悪魔の証明になっちまうよ。
Oh boy.
犯罪を暴くには証拠を見つければいい。でも無実を示すには何を見つけりゃいいんだい？消極的事実の証明は不可能だ。
エヴァおばさんが犯罪を犯したか否か、それを判断する材料が見つからないから、そのまま真相は迷宮入りということですね。
そうだな。エンジちゃんの期待する言い方にするとそうなるな。エヴァさん自身にだって自分の無実は証明不能なのさ。あの島で不幸な事故があった。そしてたまたまエヴァさんが生き残った。しかもそれ以上のことは何もわからない。つまるところ、唯一の生存者であるエヴァさんの話を信じられるか否かって俺は信じたよ。指輪の話や彼女の尊敬できる家族愛、そして葬儀で見せた涙、それらを加味して考えて彼女の話を信じようと思ったんだ。
Fair enough, I guess.
でも私は信じない。指輪なんて 奪う気なら方法はいくらでもあるだろうし、家族仲が本当に良かったかなんて誰にもわからない。
Once again, fair enough.
葬儀の涙が本物かなんて証明不能。というか、私はそもそもエヴァおばさんなんて大嫌い。だから私は彼女の話を信じようなんて思わない。
Yeah, a little bit biased.
事件の真相をどう見るか。俺とエンジェちゃんで真っ向から対立しちまったな。俺たちに与えられてる情報は全く同じなのに、全く異なる見解も持っちまう。こういうこと政治や経済でもよくあるんだ。
It's always about point of perspective.
同じ事業をやっても必ず評価は分かれちまう。どうしてかわかるかい？
いいえ。
愛があるかどうかさ。
Love, huh?
相手に愛を感じてるかどうかで物の見え方は全く違うってことなんだ。好きな人が貧しい人に施しをすれば尊敬できるだろう。でも嫌いなやつが施しなんて始めたら売名行為だとかばらまき行政だとか非難合々さ。
Ain't that the truth, huh?
何をしてもしなくても愛があれば感謝し、愛がなければ非難する。
If you like someone, you like someone. If you don't like someone, you don't like someone. No matter what they do, they can't change that simple first impression, I guess, you know. Of you like this certain celebrity, hey, good for you. If you don't like them, well, you want to criticize everything they do, be it good or bad, you know. Doesn't matter. You already have that inkling of, you know, hatred in your heart, I guess.
それが世の中ってもんなんだ。
エヴァおばさんのことを信じられるか信じられないか、それだけの違いってことですか？
彼女を疑う人間には彼女が何をしてもしなくてもそれは実に不自然に見えるだろうさ。逆もしかり。俺はね、世の中には真実なんてものはよっぽどのことがない限り存在しないんじゃないかと思うね。いや仮にもし真実が存在したとしても、それを信じるか信じないかは愛があるか否かで決められちまう。絶対性の宿らない真実なんて真実と呼べるのかい？エヴァさんが物理的なアリバイを示したとしても、君はそれを信じられたかい？
Fair enough. It's hard to counter that. I hate on Ava, so I'll probably deny any information beneficial to her, and interpret any neutral information in a negative way. In other words, the truth is already decided inside me. So just what in the world is this truth that I'm still searching for, unsatisfied?
そういうことさ。つまり俺から何を聞こうとも、エンジェちゃんがエヴァさんを未だ疑っている以上、何を聞いても今更何も変わらないってことなのさ。少なくとも今のエンジェちゃんじゃ、仮に未知の新事実を掴んだとしても真相に至ることはできんと思うね。
私では真相に至れませんか？
だってエンジェちゃんはどんな新情報や新証拠が見つかったってエヴァさんが犯人だってスタンスは変えないんだろう。ならこれ以上何を調べたって意味はないじゃないか。君の中の真相はすでに決まっているわけさ。だがもしエンジェちゃんがそれを真相と思わずにさらに奥深くの本当の真相にたどり着きたいと願うなら、もう話したつもりなんだけどな。なんだかわかるかい？
That'd be...
愛ですか？よく意味がわからないです。
エンジェちゃんは今エヴァさんを犯人だと仮定しものを考えている。 でもそれじゃあ片目で物を見てるようなものなんだ。片目じゃどんなに目を凝らしても物を立体的に見ることはできないだろ。だからもう一つ目がいるんだ。もちろん今の目とは別の立場での。
エヴァおばさんが犯人ではない、あるいは本当に事故であるという仮定にも基づいて物事を見ろと。
そうそう、その通り。物事を考えるときには異なる立ち位置から見るようにするんだ。
Yeah.
そうじゃないと本当のことは何もわからない。
You gotta look at things from different people's perspectives.
新聞だってそうさ。一つの新聞だけじゃその記事を書いた記者の目線一つでしかものが見られない。複数の新聞を読むことで初めて立体的かつ冷静に分析ができることもある。
I mean, it's the same thing with me, Willie. Once I, read something or watch something or play something, Willie, I check out, video essays, to understand deeper, Yeah, that's why people watch Let's Plays, huh? To see different interpretations of stories, especially visual novels. It's interesting, to get to the truth of the story, the many different interpretations. I mean, there's thousands of interpretations of single stories here and there, It's very interesting to read through those people's interpretations of those, but sometimes you also must make up your own interpretation as well,
愛がなければ真実は見えない。いいね。
Maybe he thought it interesting that such a flashy phrase would pop out of his mouth. For a while he laughed, looking pleased. At the same time he was telling me that he said everything he knew, and that it was about time to leave. I understood that and got to my feet.
俺にもエンジェちゃんの気持ちが分かったよ。あんたが納得するようにしばらく好きにしたらいい。当時君は6歳だった。わけがわからないうちに家族を失い、未だに心の整理がつかない気持ち、よくわかるんだ。真相はわかるかもしれない、わからないかもしれない。エヴァさんは犯人かもしれないし、犠牲者かもしれない。エンジェちゃんが信じる真実が見つけられるのを祈ってるよ。若いうちの旅も貴重な経験かもしれない。
ありがとうございます。お忙しいところお邪魔して本当にすみませんでした。
Oko! I fucking, yeah, that was his name! Okonogi! Okonogi. Fuck. Yep, that was his name. Also, character update. Yep, this motherfucker. Okonogi Tetsuno, a major player in the Ushiro Mira group. After Ava's death, until Angie succeeds the group, he and the other ministers are the one managing it. However, since Angie has no desire to do so, the group is on the brink of internal discord, putting him in a difficult position as well. He was previously the president of a foodstuffs distribution company and had a very close relationship with Hiroshi's company. Because of that long-lasting association, Ava particularly trusted him, and he was appointed to a significant post in the group. Okonogi, you son of a bitch! Oh great, now we have human side, witch side, and Angie side, aka the future, And so let's read Ava's. After being repeatedly hospitalized from psychogenic stress, she is already dead in the world of 1998 due to acute heart failure. The only survivor from Okajima, she lived her later years in isolation with no one to understand her. The meteor gave her the name Queen of Suspicion. She continued on the path of reckless expansion like Kinzo had done in the past and had made many enemies. In her later years, she seemed to do this repeatedly as if she found it funny. And at that point, it was no longer for economic reasons, but simply to harass. And all this was for the sake of Angie, who would eventually succeed her. Okonogi, you son of a bitch! Well, it seems like he's grown a little bit less, I guess, militaristic. I'm getting out of the whole special ops type shit, but I don't know. He seems kind of nicer, maybe. I don't know. Well, we'll see.
いいっていいって。
Fucking
これからどうするんだ。
まあ適当に。事件関係者やその道の専門家ってやつに何人かアポを入れてるので、そちらを当たるつもりです。
そうか。納得のいく答えが見つかるといいな。
Oh, then. At that time, company president Okonogi's secretary came in, handing him a memoir over his shoulder. Memo. He read it, then looked between it and my face.
エンジェちゃん、旅に出てごらんと言った矢先で申し訳ないんだが、耳に入れといた方がいい情報だ。君、今だいぶやばいらしいね。
Oh boy.
私の金を狙ってる連中ですか？だからお金なんてくだらない。
だからって財産丸ごと売っ払って全額を福祉に寄付しようなんてしたら。
I don't know why I just thought of this. I'm just going to say this out loud. But Okonogi's like design reminds me of like a Fukumoto character, like from Kaiji or Akagi. Like fucking Tonogawa from Kaiji Ultimates, whatever.
エンジェちゃんの財産で川残用してる連中が目ん玉飛び出しちまうよ。
ああ、スマデラの家ですか。
Actually, speaking of Kaiji, I recently found a tweet where it was Ryukushio 7 visiting a Kaiji exposition, which was a very funny tweet to find on my timeline.
あいつら、何を偉そうに保護者面して。
I haven't forgotten on Ava. There's no way I'll put myself in the care of the Sumadera family. They probably want to, as on Ava often fronted in the past. Cut off my arms and legs, throw me in a warehouse, and suck the Ushiromira family's wealth dry.
スマデラ家の使いがここに来るそうだ。
Oh boy.
君を引き渡せと。いやいや、保護したいと言ってるな。
使いって？
君のおばだよ。キリエさんの妹さんだ。
Oh shit.
君のことを妹のように思っていると前に話してたな。
ご冗談。
God, we have so many I'm just realizing something. We have so many fucking wares to the story now. we got the shit happening back in 1985 on Wokenjima. We also have all the witches cast. Now we got future cast from Angie's story. There's so many fucking characters, man.
せめて孫と言ってよ、あのババ。
God, this really is a fucking epic story.
文脈から見るに君の意思は聞く気がないようだ。地下2階の駐車場に車が待たせてある。行きなさい。
スマデラの家から引き渡せって言われてるんでしょ。いいの？私を行かせて。
エンジェちゃんはきっと将来大物になるよ。この貸しはその時の出世払いってことにしとこう。行きな、早く。
After bowing silently deeply, Angie left that place at a dash. After watching her leave, the female secretary strained her glasses and whispered.
スマデラ家からは足止めをしておくように言われていますが、行かせてよろしいのですか？
足止めならしたよ、十分に。それに間に合わないのはスマデラの過失だね。エンジェちゃんには逃げろと言ったし、スマデラにはエンジェちゃんが来てるよと通報したし、捕まっても捕まらなくても双方に恨まれない。
Oh, Konogi, you still up to your fucking tricks.
世の中はすべからく愛だね。大丈夫、逃げおせるよ。何しろ追ってまくためにビルから飛び降りられるからね。
Okonogi looked down again through a crack in the blinds. By the way, nope. I definitely could do it. You know, the funny... I always liked Okonogi. Because he was always the straight man to fucking Takano. I'm like, yeah, well, sure, we'll do all your crazy bullshit, Takano, like, whatever. Like, he was always the straight man. Well, I'm out of this business. Might as well go somewhere else. Angie wasn't fool herself. She got off the elevator but on the third floor. A taxi in the second level of the basement. It's so neat and clean that I don't like it. probably better to refuse for now. But my enemies weren't fools either. They're probably waiting in the first floor lobby as well as the underground parking lot. It's such a massive building. Instead of getting anxious and escaping outside, maybe it's better to stay inside and wait it out. No, that's useless. If they get their hands on a security room in a modern building like this, I'd have nowhere to run to. This entire building is like a massive dead end. The third floor is the business floor. A young girl like me will clearly stick out. Trying not to stand out any more than I had to, I walked at a brisk pace, searching for an emergency exit. It'd be perfect if that staircase was an outside one. I found the door to the emergency exit. After opening that heavy door, I found the outside staircase I hoped for. I bumped into a man who looked like employee skipping work and smoking a cigarette. After glaring at me, he quickly crushed out his cigarette and went away. It looked like there was no one below. If I'm going to escape, now's my only chance. Oh shit! Just when I thought that, a black car slid right under me and came to a sudden stop with incredible screaming in the tires. Man, once again, Ryukyou 07 is flexing his like action movie like floor muscles, as we saw in Higurashi as well, Akasaka. Judging by the sound of tires, it seemed that they had several other allies and that one of them had come here to block this path.
Kasumi Oba-san, やるじゃない。非常口から出てくるメイにまで送迎車を送るなんて。
Bam, bam! The doors to the car were forcefully opened, and three black-suited men jumped out, looking up at the emergency staircase. Crap. Our eyes met.
12、マルタイ発見。北西側非常階段3階。応援遅れ。エンジェ様、そこを動かれませんように。ご無礼を失礼します。
The three of them began to clamber up the emergency exit. They've already announced that they plan to be rough. This is pretty bad. As long as I don't stop breathing, they're probably been ordered to grab me no matter what, even if they gotta whip out one of my arms. Clink, 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 clink. Their heavy, wild footsteps gained the helix and began to rise from the lower floors, getting closer. In the entrance lobby of the building, a woman of seven black-suited guards behind her advanced at a leisurely pace. Seeing this Austronius entrance, the security guards for the building ran up to them, asking if they had employment.
これだから東京人は
Oh boy.
名乗らせなければ相手の格もわからない。
失礼いたしました。当社ではご来賓の皆様にはフロントにてセキュリ
下がれ、下船が。私はお前たちの社長に呼ばれてきたんだよ。おこのぎ哲郎を呼んでおいで。呼びつけておいて出迎えもないとはね。これだから東京人は。
I don't think she's referring to City. I don't think she's referring to City at all. I think she's talking about the secret group.
これは失礼。
And it's written well enough for people who haven't read Higurashi to just interpret that as like she's from the countryside.
ようこそ後宮グループへ。妻寺かすみさん。
Alright, Kasumi-san. Alright, let's take a look at this yet another character. Okay, daughter of the declining noble family Sumadera, Ushiro Mira Kirei's younger sister. She hates her sister Kirei so much that she loathes everything about her, so she also strongly hates Angie. She is the opposite of the free-willing person Kirei was, and holds appearances in high regard, possessing a strong ambition for philanthropy. However, there's nothing more than a manifestation of her complex towards her sister, causing her to crave the limelight. Sounds familiar, some of Raki's sisters. There are several opposing factions in the Sumidella family, and they are constantly engaged in a secret feud over who will control the vast wealth Angie holds. Interesting. With his secretary behind him, Okonogi dashingly appeared from the elevator. Even though both of them wore bold smiles, they were wrapped in a tension reminiscent of the smell of gunpowder.
エンジェはどこ？姉さんのかわいい姪を迎えに来たのよ、私は。
Yeah, she's definitely the complete opposite of Kyrie, and very much in design.
後宮グループでは時間厳守がモットーでしてな。
Like, very much more formal and traditional.
時間を守れない人間は契約も守れないってのが先代会長のお言葉でして。
東京まで呼びつけてなんてざまなの？
Maybe this really is Tokyo. Oh, fuck it. It could be both by this point.
逃がしたわね。
逃げられたと言ってもらいたいですな。これでも随分足止めはしたんです。さすがに蹴取られましたね。スマデラさんが時間通りに来てくれれば問題はなかったのですがこれだから地方人はルーズで困るんです。
Oh, Konogi, you sly bitch.
今なんとこの私になんと
You couldn't sense any of Kirei's open frankness in Kasumi's face. She wore the arrogance of the ancient Sumadera family towards the ruined Ushiro Mira family, as well as pride because she didn't want anyone to notice that her family was declining so much that they couldn't ignore the Ushiro Mira family's wealth. Even at a glance, it was easy to understand why Angie hated her aunt so deeply. She couldn't stand even a slight insult, and though she still smiled, her eyebrow twitched. At that time, the black-suited man behind Kasumi whispered to her.
エンジ様を発見しました。対応中です。
あら間に合ってよかった。ありがとうねお好み。ようやくやんちゃな名誉を連れて帰れそうだわ。私あの子と一緒にゆっくりとお茶室で語らいたくてお道具まで準備して待ってたんだから。
Man, what is with these families and their goddamn torture rooms? Always gotta have like a dungeon in the fucking basement. Jeez. Fucking rich families, man. Goink, 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 goink. As the violent sound drew a helix, it rushed up at me from below, threatening to swallow me up. Of course, even if I fight, there's no way I'll be able to win. Yet running into the building would be like jumping into a dead end of my own cord. My enemies will increase in number of time. If I don't do something here and now, I won't have any more chances to escape. Then, 3 muscular black-suited men came into view below me. 1, 2, 3. 3 people. In other words, everyone who had gotten out of the car. If there had just been one of them, I might have been able to drop-kick them or something and smash them in the head, which might work out. But it really would be impossible with 3 of them. Wait, 3? If there's just 3, I should be able to make it. If I could do it. Go for it, Angie!
バカやめろ。危ない。うわ
The hell is she doing? Oh shit, she dropped on the car?
01より12。
Oh, no,
確保したか。応答されたし。
Whoa.
どうした。応答しろ。なんてやつだ。
Oh. Damn. Ow. See, that worked out perfectly, didn't it? There's just the 3 of them after all. If I were to try that once from a higher place, I know I'd be able to jump down just 3 floors. It's a good thing the car that came in was right beneath me. Oh my god. Oh, and this jazzy ass music. Oh, fuck yeah. It's like Lupin the Third. God, I need to watch that series anyway. Even if it wasn't as pleasant as a trampoline, it broke my fall. A little gently, a little roughly.
失礼しちゃうわ。ここまでへこむこともないだろう。
The roof of the car broke my fall, leaving a massive dent around my body. Car roofs are surprisingly delicate. I don't think it's because of my weight. Apparently, the 3 people on the stairs hadn't planned on me jumping down. It seemed now they realized they'd been outwitted and they were rushing down the stairs. Gotta run and escape while I have the chance. Moving my body, making clunking sounds on the car roof. But I've been naive. Of course they wouldn't all rush up the stairs without leaving one person behind. There was one black-suited man left in the driver's seat of the car that had broken my fall. He stuck his head out the window, and when he realized what had fallen on him, he jumped out. In a rush, I jumped off the roof, but the black-suited man's reaction was really fast. Either there was a massive reward for capturing me, or there had been some harsh punishment in store for them if they let me get away.
15、確保、確保。
気安く触らないで。離して。
I was mercifully held down against the asphalt. I was being crushed face down, covered and pressed upon from above. It was a hold without a trace of elegance, but it was extremely practical and left me no room for resistance. I tried to push back with both hands, searching for a way to resist. But I was being pushed down sideways, and I couldn't even tear myself off the asphalt. Then another car came, squirreling its tires as it slid to a sudden stop. Is it all over now? The man that had been crushing me let out a sharp cry. Oh shit. He was yelling straight into my ear, making my left ear ring. What in the world? Along with the black-suited guy, I fell with a funk. After landing face up, the first thing I saw was an arm stuck out right in front of my eyes. Who the hell is Amakasa? Who the fuck? Jesus Christ! Amakasa grabbed my arm, easily pulled me up, swinging around with himself as the center of gravity. Just when I thought it was a little like a dance, he flung me through the open door into the driver's seat. God damn, man! I climbed over the handbrake and slid into the passenger seat. Pushing me in, Amakasa also got into the driver's seat. Since we suddenly accelerated while I was still on all fours, I had to kick and struggle around in the chair for a while like a turtle that's been flipped over. Amakasa checked the rearview mirror for cars in pursuit, but he flew into the artery of the big city without lowering his speed in the slightest. Man, this really is like episode 4 in Higurashi. Completely new point of view character and a whole bunch of new cast members. Well, there wasn't that many characters in episode 4 in Higurashi, but you know what I mean. We sewed our way between cars one after another. Just like a chase scene in some action movie. I was shaken by this horrible driving and had trouble sitting back down. Yeah, see how many fucking force you can jump down, Angie. Cool. He smacked the ceiling wheel, Carl following. Need an explanation for this flipping away talking man? Yes, I do. His name is Amakasa Jusa. Probably butchered that like every other name. Alright, look at this square. Okay, a former guard of Ava's, an extreme thrill seeker who accepts dangerous jobs for little pay. He had served as Angie's bodyguard before, but after he broke Ava's strict order not to talk to Angie countless times, Ava ultimately took a dislike to him and let him go. Angie herself didn't find him all that bad because he was someone she could talk to. JSDF, Foreign Region, private military companies, this man has traveled them all and is skilled in counter-sniping and escorting VIPs. Awesome. It also whipped jeans with like a business pants on? What the hell? That's one hell of a, fashion sense, but I like it. He was originally one of Ava's guards. Then she started to hate him because he chatted too much. He was much younger than the last of the guards, but contrary to his outward flippancy, he hopped from the 1st Airborne of the JSDF to the French Foreign Region, placing himself in overseas private military companies and high-class security companies one after another, making for a pretty incredible and unique career. Later, he deserted both the JSDF and the French Foreign Region, and that will be listed if the amateurs for answering him. Both of these flippant episodes were very typical of him. The guards were sternly told not to chat with me unnecessarily. But he came and took a pass at me, didn't he? Aneva was apparently particularly put off by that, and I supposedly dismissed him shortly before she died. Okonogi, you sly dog.
お嬢と面識があってドタバタの経験も豊富ってことでご指名が来たのでしょうぜ。お嬢のおかげでハッピーな休暇と小遣い稼ぎになりそうです。
おこのぎさんがあんたを私の護衛に雇ったってこと？
お嬢に恩を売りたいんでしょうぜ。首の後、お好みの社長にはいろいろと世話になってましてね。いろいろと弱みを握られてんで逆らえるのですわ。
お好みさんの世話になると後々で高くつきそうね。
Yeah, probably.
で、あんたは私をどこに連れて行くつもりなの？
どちらへでも週末までは雇われます。それ以降は別料金で。
1日いくら
5万で手を打ちます。経費は別ですぜ。
軽口を叩かないなら倍払うわ。雇用期間は未定。何週間かになるかも。
そりゃ大変だ。ボスに休暇の延長を電話しねえとなりませんぜ。
私どうしてもあの日のことが調べたいの。
ああ、例の六軒寺の。
そうよ。12年前にあの島で何があったのか、私の手で納得がいくように調べたいの。
Interesting.
そんな昔のことを今さら調べて、今さら新しい発見がありますかね。
そうね。だからこれは私の自己満足のための旅なの。
So Angie's kind of doing double pincer attack, huh? One from the world of riches and one from the real world in the future.
それを終えたらネギでも背負ってスマデラの家に行くわ。
I guess she is using both her eyes, huh? One in the witch's world and one in the present.
かすみおばさん、私にお抹茶をご馳走したいとか言ってたっけ。白材の上に正座させられて石でも抱かされながらのお着し。
そりゃおっかねえや。
Maybe you have to bow on a hot coal blade. Damn. Wait, wow.
申し訳ございません。見失いました。
You know what? Yeah. I feel like this is a good stopping point. Yeah, just like with Higarashi's episode 4, we have a kind of a new... We're going to get a new cast here in the future, present, Angie's time, I guess. How do you call it? But goddamn, fucking Okonogi, motherfucker. This motherfucker comes back again. Wow. God, the start of this episode was about Angie waiting to Maria and a stuffed, like, Hawaiian's toy. And now we're here in the fucking, at the end of it with a, like, floor spy action movie. Truly shows you, the many tones of the When They Cry series. If you enjoyed this type of content, hit that subscribe button. If you liked it, hit the like button. Want to tell me something? Put that in the comments below. Want to check Discord server I hang out in or my Twitter? Check the description below. And, yeah, this has been Voidlego. I'll see you guys next time. See ya!